Some children don't grow up slowly. They grow up all at once. You can hear it in the way they speak, the way they apologize too quickly, the way they stay calm when everyone else is emotional. People call them mature for their age, but sometimes that maturity is actually survival. Because many children who grow up too fast were never truly allowed to be children. And the dangerous part is, they often look perfectly fine. They behave well. They help everyone. They rarely complain. Adults praise them for it. Meanwhile, something deeper is happening underneath. A child should not feel responsible for everyone's emotions. A child should not feel guilty for resting. And a child should never feel safer acting like an adult than acting like themselves. But it happens quietly. A little girl hears her parents fighting through the wall at night. The next morning, she smiles extra hard at breakfast. A boy notices his mother gets stressed easily, so he stops asking for help. Another child learns that crying annoys adults, so eventually, they stop crying where anyone can see. These moments may seem small, but repeated emotional experiences shape a child's nervous system. And over time, children begin adapting. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Some children become emotionally mature because they were guided with love. Others become emotionally mature because they had no choice. And those are not the same thing. Research has shown that chronic stress during childhood changes how the brain responds to emotion and danger. But honestly, you don't even need research to see it. You've probably met these children before. The child who never asks for anything. The one who says it's okay too fast. The one everyone describes as easy. Sometimes they're easy because they learned very early that having needs felt risky. And eventually, that survival pattern becomes identity. They become the responsible one. The caretaker. The emotionally strong person everyone depends on. But underneath that strength is often exhaustion. Because when a child spends years managing everyone else's emotions, adulthood can feel like permanent emotional work. And here's the strange part. Many of these people struggle to relax. Rest feels uncomfortable. Doing nothing creates guilt. Why? Because their nervous system learned to stay alert. A slammed door, a change in tone, footsteps in the hallway. Their brain adapted to constantly scanning for danger. People call them highly empathetic, but sometimes they're not reading emotions because they're gifted. Sometimes they're trying to stay safe. That changes how you see everything. Now this becomes bigger than behavior. It becomes about self-worth. Many children who grow up too fast quietly develop one belief. My value comes from what I do for others, not who they are, not how they feel, what they provide. So they become useful, helpful, reliable, emotionally available. But deep down, many fear that if they stop performing, people may stop loving them. And that fear follows them into adulthood, into friendships, into marriage, into parenting. This is the part nobody talks about. Some children become so emotionally independent, they stop expecting comfort altogether. That is one of the saddest adaptations a child can make. A child should run towards safety, not learn to survive without it. And eventually, some stop asking for help not because they don't need it, but because they no longer believe help will come. That moment changes people. It changes how they trust, how they love, how they see themselves. And years later, others may admire their strength without realizing where it came from. But here's the hard truth. Strength developed through emotional deprivation often comes with hidden grief. Because many fast-growing children missed experiences they can never fully get back. Feeling protected, making mistakes safely, depending on someone without guilt. If you're recognizing yourself in this, you're not alone. And this doesn't mean someone is damaged forever. But it does mean their nervous system learned survival before safety. There's a difference, and many adults carry that invisible child with them every day. The child who still feels guilty resting. The child who still feels responsible for everyone else. The child who became the strong one far too early. This is the unforgettable part. Sometimes, children stop being children emotionally long before they stop being children physically, and the world mistakes that loss for maturity. But healing can begin once someone finally understands. This wasn't just my personality. It was adaptation, and adaptation can change. Safety can be relearned. Rest can be relearned. Connection can be relearned. Slowly. And if you're a parent watching this, remember something important. Children do not need perfect parents. They need emotionally safe moments repeated consistently. Moments where they can feel without shame. need without guilt, and exist without having to earn love. Because one day, your child may forget many details of childhood, but emotionally, their nervous system will remember how life felt around you. And sometimes, the greatest gift you can give a child is allowing them to grow up slowly